And turning now to China. A new documentary traces all the way back to the beginning of the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, to reveal the regime's 100-year plot to defeat America. I spoke with the Epoch Times senior investigative journalist Joshua's Philip, who features in the film The Final War. Joshua Philip, welcome to our show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, always a pleasure, and some interesting stuff to go into.
Indeed. Now, Americans are understandably largely focused on domestic issues like the cost of living. And when we think of international adversaries, for many, Russia comes to mind. But you're saying that we should really be concerned about the Chinese Communist Party. So could you tell me about that?
Well, I'd agree. People care a lot about domestic issues. It's important to understand that the Chinese Communist Party has become a domestic issue. Because whether we like it or not, we are at war with the Chinese Communist Party in ways that we do not consider to be war, but they do. The Chinese Communist Party, as I describe in this documentary, has declared a 100-year war against the United States, and they are at the latter end of that. The CCP has been talking about, for example, culture warfare, business warfare, legal warfare, media warfare, culture warfare. They are manipulating the open system of the United States to undermine us in every single way. And this is being done in a very intentional, very coordinated way. And the intention of it is to overtake the United States as the world leader and eventually wage war on and destroy the United States.
And so why exactly would the Chinese Communist Party want to defeat America?
So the Chinese Communist Party has a slogan, which is, "We live, you die." They don't believe that the Chinese Communist Party, being a communist system, they don't believe it can coexist with the United States. They believe, as did all the communists in the past, that pretty much for communism to succeed, the free world, the liberal democracy or the republic system, it needs to come to an end. As long as there's an example for people to turn to, as long as people can look and see there's a country that has freedom, and that under freedom, people can be both prosperous and happy and also have a stable society, as long as people can see that, they will desire it. It's why one of the main reasons why the Soviet Union collapsed. Because people could look at the TV and they can say, hey, those Americans, they criticize them all they want. But even that family, going on the road through the Great Depression, they still have a car. They still have possessions. They still have freedom. They can move. We can't. Just like the Chinese Communist Party looking right now at Taiwan, where people with the same cultural heritage as the Chinese people have built a very successful, very harmonious society without communism. That will always serve as an example of what they could be if they had freedom, of what they could have without the communist system. And the CCP understands that, and they know that they cannot exist forever as long as free societies exist. I think it's been not as well known because what the CCP says, privately to the United States, what they try to communicate is this image of peaceful rise, is this image of peaceful coexistence. Whereas in their own documents, in their own doctrines, and in their internal speeches, this is what they're talking about in reality, that they believe they need to defeat the United States, and they have a real program to do it.